Have you decided this is the year that you're going to become a first-time home buyer? Fantastic! This video is about the do's and the don'ts of preparing to make that purchase. Hi, everyone. For those of you that have been to my channel before, thanks for tuning in again. And for those of you that are new, my name is Kelly Wise. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland. Now, if you like this content and you want to see more, please click that like and subscribe button down below. It's the thumbs up and the little bell. Now let's jump into the do's and the don'ts. The first do is to have some savings. Most people have heard of down payments, but you also have closing costs and some expenses for moving. Even if you just rent a truck and give your friends pizza and beer, that's still something you want to make sure you have saved up. Now, the don't is don't forget there are upfront fees and costs to buying a home. So you want to make sure that you're prepared to write a check for, say, the EMD, which is your earnest money deposit. Generally, an EMD is 1% of the sales price, and you give that check with your offer. If your offer is accepted, then that money is given to the title company, and they do cash that check. But that money goes towards your closing costs. Now, some other upfront fees include a home inspection or a radon test. Those are paid for at the time of service, and you don't get that money back. Now, the next do is do create a budget. You should know what your current expenses are, either annually or monthly, know it macro and micro. And that way you'll have a better understanding of what it is that you think you can afford. Now, don't forget that when you become a homeowner, there will be some new expenses. So you want to take into account these expenses and maybe create an estimated homeowner budget. And in those expenses, for example, if you live in an apartment, you may have some of your utilities included. When you own a home, you most likely will not have utilities included. In addition, if you buy a home that's a single family, then you will have lawn care services or lawn care maintenance fees that you have to pay. Just putting down some, fertilizer. You want to be able to have the money there to do that. And the best way to know if you do or not is to create a budget. In addition, don't forget growing expenses. So maybe you're just starting a family and you're planning to have children. Well, children mean daycare or swimming lessons or piano lessons. Or maybe you're thinking of getting a pet. Those have expenses too. I believe on average, a dog costs about $500 a month because you have food expenses, vet, grooming, insurance. So you want to take those things into consideration as well into your estimated homeownership budget. Now, my next do is to check your credit report. You should know what's on there before you go into the lending process. There's nothing worse than thinking, this is the time I'm going to buy my house. And then the lender comes back and says, oh, did you know you have collections on your credit report or delinquencies on your credit report? So my don't is don't ignore what's on there that looks suspicious or incorrect. If anything is on there that looks suspicious, you need to contact the credit reporting agencies and let them know so that you can have it removed. If somehow you missed a payment on something and you didn't even realize it, and you have delinquencies or credit collections on there, take care of those before you start the lending process. That way you have a nice clean credit report that gets pulled when the lender goes in to do his check. Now my next do is to go to get pre-approved. So you've checked your credit, it's stellar. You've got above a 620 and you're ready to buy that home. Now, don't forget, you don't have to have at least a 620. There are programs that have below that. But 620 is a good starting point that most lenders accept. So now it's time to get pre-approved. You want to go out and research different lenders and find one that fits what you want to do best. Don't think that your pre-approval is the amount that you should spend. Remember that budget we did? We'll take into account all of your expenses. And if the lender pre-approves you for, let's say, $500,000, go you, and you realize, no, because of my expenses, I'm really more comfortable at a $350,000 range, make sure you let your agent know that. Because just because you're pre-approved for one amount doesn't mean that is what's appropriate for you to actually spend. And you want to be careful not to become what my dad calls house poor, okay? Which means all your money is going towards the house, and now you can no longer afford to go out and eat or have a vacation. So remember, the pre-approval amount is fantastic, and if you can afford that amount, go for it. But if you're more comfortable at a lower range, then just tell your agent, and you guys can start looking for homes in that price range and stick to that budget that you created. Next is you've been pre-approved. So now what should you do? Go to open houses. Open houses are great because they let you take in different home styles, different neighborhoods. You can get a feel for different areas and decide, okay, maybe this is or is not where I want to purchase a home. In addition to that, you're probably thinking, but I get to see all the pictures online. Well, photographers these days use a wide angle lens, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard from a client, whoa, I thought this place was gonna be a lot bigger. Or you find out this place is really dark. It looks so bright online. So this is another reason why you wanna go to open houses. And then of course, if you wind up at an open house that you really like that home, call your agent and you guys can put an offer in on it. While we're on the subject of open houses, here's my next don't. Don't be confused about who the agent on duty actually represents. That agent in the open house represents the seller while they are holding the house open. It's a great time to ask that agent all the questions in the world you have about the house. However, if you are working with your own agent, it's best if you keep your excitement low key. You really don't want that agent to know that you're very excited about the house or that you're probably going to be making an offer. That agent has a responsibility to let the seller know, hey, these people said they're going to make an offer, so you can expect this to come through. Or a lot of people came in and they were really excited about your house. I know it's going to sell soon. So just keep that between you, and if you're shopping with a partner, keep that between the two of you. And then of course, let your agent know. Now, if you are unrepresented and you don't have an agent already, feel free to talk to that agent, find out if they are the listing agent. If they are, they can write an offer for you, but it's best that you find yourself an agent because the listing agent will not be able to represent both the seller and you. If that open house agent is not the listing agent, you can talk to them about possibly being a representative for you, and that you guys can talk more about that after the open house. A little side note, when you go to new construction, if you do have an agent already, it's best that you go with them. Similarly to an open house, the sales rep at a new construction site represents the builder. So while their job is kind of to help you along through the process, they don't represent you. So they have the best interest of the builder in mind. And so if you bring your own agent, that agent will help you and guide you and have your best interests in mind. Now, our next do, and this one's a good one, do find yourself an agent that you feel comfortable with, that's knowledgeable about the area, the process of buying a home, that will help guide you through the process. If you have tons of questions, they're willing to answer all of them, or they're willing to help you find the resources necessary to answer your questions. This is a sign of a good agent, and that is something you definitely do want to find. Now we've reached my very last don't, which is if you're working with an agent that maybe misrepresented their knowledge, they're not helping you through the process, you feel like you're just a paycheck to them, don't stay with them. Break up with them. You do have that option. You're not stuck with them. And then go find yourself an agent that you're more compatible with. Maybe me, you're looking at one. Anyway, I really hope this list of do's and don'ts will help you prepare to buy a home. If you felt the knowledge was great and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and click the bell so you can subscribe and get some more. Thanks for watching. See you guys again next Saturday. Bye-bye now.